Howdy, howdy everybody, welcome back to the Champion Forge, where you, yes you, get to design your own League of Legends champion. My name is Counterfeit, of course, like all of us here, an amateur game designer and shoutcaster, joined firstly by Caster Exodus.
Hi, my name is Exodus, also known as Zev. I'm basically better at you than everything. Also, I'm extraordinarily humble.
Wow. Wow! That was definitely true. And of course, last but not least, Roger. Please, let the folks know, what's your deal?
I have no deal whatsoever. I'm just in charge for my looks. Whatever else is happening that's out of my control, let's go.
I want to give a heads up to the people watching today. Sometimes you see me mute myself and head out of screen. The reason we didn't do an episode last week is because I was extraordinarily sick and I still have a bad cough. So anyway, that's a little disclaimer out for you. Give it back to our man in the field, Counterfeit.
All right, so hey, only Damien33, how ya doing? So today, our gimmick is we're going to be stealing something from a fabulous podcast called All My Fancy Children, where they used a now defunct role-playing game system to come up with the notion of their character. Now, Damien and anyone else who's watching, you will have new commands to pull upon here today, because we're going to be using several rolling tables in order to determine what kind of human-animal hybrid we're going to be coming up with for today. So I'm just going to bring that up on screen right now because I realize that's something we haven't done yet. There we go. Haha! There we go. Might need to do a little bit of fiddling to get that back in.
High-level concepts.
Yes. We've got everything we could possibly need right here. Yeah, Damon, I think we're all doing all right. So, our first thing we're going to be doing here is determining... So you may have seen... I don't know, have either of you guys ever seen a TV show about adolescent, abnormal, martial arts infused, yes.
Tortoise-like.
Tortoises, yes, in that area.
Animal-human hybrids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not just that one show, there are multiple shows actually with like animal-human hybrid stuff.
Yes, that's true.
So...
You can't nail us down to anything specific.
So in a nutshell, turtles.
Oh, yes, but not just turtles, because while we are hitting on that non-copyrighted expanded universe, there's a lot of different stuff in that kind of space. So we would ask for whoever can get there first. We've got a whole bunch of roll commands now in the chat. So our first roll to determine what kind of creature we're going to have here. And of course, Roger's loving this because it means they don't have any idea what kind of thing they're going to have to draw today. So if someone could use the exclamation mark D100, that's exclamation mark D100, all one word together in the chat, that will give us our first dice roll and let us know it's a 45. So we have a rural animal. Roger, how do you feel about drawing rural animals?
As long as not birds, I'm fine with everything.
So no birds.
I was dreading to get birds. I don't like that.
All
Nah.
right. So, I think you're in luck. Most of the rural animals are not birds, but there are a couple in there. So, Damien, I guess you or anyone else who is around, if you could throw us another D100, then we will discover what kind of rural animal we have. It's a rural animal.
This kind of feels like a how would you call it? Like people selling stuff on TV. What's that called again? Like
TV shopping.
TV shopping. Exactly, TV shopping. Where if you in chat, if you do exclamation mark D100, you will get a fabulous discount off of our
fabulous prize.
Fabulous prize.
Let's see what Damien has rolled. They rolled a D100, got a 2, and that means our rural animal is a dog. Congratulations, everyone. We are working with a dog. That's actually probably one of the more normal ones we could have gotten. There are a lot of very weird ones. We can definitely do this again. We could have gotten a turkey, And I don't know if we could have made a champion out of a turkey.
Fuck you, gobble gobble, bitches.
Yeah, gobble gobble, bitches.
I'm gonna gobble you up. All right. So this is no ordinary dog, though. Of course. Yes, we missed out on the turkey, Damien. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. There are a lot of different animals, though. So this is not a regular dog. This is a mutated dog. So we're going to need another D100, whoever gets there first, to determine if this is a random mutation, it just kind of happened, and we were too lazy to write the reason why. If it was an accidental encounter, perhaps you run across some kind of mutagenic substance, or was it deliberate? We've got a 29, and that means it was an accidental encounter. Something strange, be it nuclear, biological, chemical, etc., happened to our poor pooch to turn them from what they were into the glorious thing they will become.
Oh shit.
I'm also at the same time looking up various mutations to see if we can actually get somewhere.
Oh god.
All right, so our next step is, let's see. So we don't know what happened to them specifically, and I don't think our table actually does this. Weirdly enough, the next thing we need to roll on is our education table. How educated is our mutant dog? So, Damien,
Yes.
or anyone else, if you could give us another D100, we'll find out, do we have a smart dog or a dog who still needs to go back to school? 32, that is... It's not as bad as it could be. By skulking around the fringes of society, we pick up a rudimentary education. But we generally
does that
just trust humans.
What does that mean? What does
It's
that
like the
mean?
basics. Like,
Okay,
He can read.
so he
Yeah.
can read. So the dog can read. That's basically it. Okay.
yeah, but not like an academic dog. We're not talking like a dog,
Yeah.
you know, with spectacles who goes to university or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Do we... I'm going to make this kind of yes-no questions here. Do we want our dog to be psychic?
I mean, if we can.
What do you mean? Like psychic, like he has super senses, or psychic as in he's an astrology obsessed little bitch?
I mean, I guess I'll leave it up to the chat. Guys in chat, let us know. Do you want them to be a regular dog, a dog who's into astrology, or a dog who is a psychic dog? Because that's just one of the questions here.
So instead of Professor X is going to... Well, he's not a professor because he can barely read. So,
Reed's
He could still
voting
read
for
tarot
psychic.
cards, so
he can read... Yeah, he can read tarot cards. Okay. So my
Okay.
my day is good. Psychic now again. Okay, so it needs to be psychic. Okay, so it's...
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll tell you what, so if you guys want to go down the... we can have he's a psychic... okay, no, yes, he's a genuine psychic who's also into astrology. Psychic astrologer dog. Just imagine a dog with, like, you know, the kind of traditional fortune teller get-up on, and you're in the right kind of space here. Alright,
Okay.
so how big is this dog? We've got all the way from as small as a mouse to as big as a rhino.
That's terrifying. Like a dog as big as a rhino. Don't think were there ever wolves that big?
I don't know.
Reed,
Actually,
is one of them.
could,
And
Reed
never stops
HD,
growing.
could you do exclamation mark roll 20 in the chat, and we can find out how big our dog is, because it's actually 20 different options. So roll a D20 would be so it's exclamation mark D20, not exclamation mark roll 20. How big would you guys like the dog to be?
The size I have it right now would be great.
6 to 75 pounds. So how much?
I have to convert that
75
into
pounds. That's like that's not very big.
70 pounds to kilograms. That is 35 approximately kilograms. So
That's like
okay,
a-
so
That's like a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's very big for a dog, but not massive for a person.
okay. So an Australian cattle dog doesn't weigh 35. So I'm looking at dogs, like breeds.
Oh, a
that are
okay, a
approximately that
Staffordshire
weight.
Terrier weighs, weighs about the same as this. So it's about the,
Yeah.
so it must be around the same size as a dog,
Okay.
but is also a person.
Okay, a Doberman Pinscher is actually quite close then to what we're looking for.
Okay. No, Reed, there's no rerolls here. We're gonna go with exactly the first thing you get. So they are a roughly dog-sized. Okay. Next,
I'm gonna die.
let's see. Wait, could I get another D20 roll to see if we've got a very, very dense dog here or not? From Reed, Damien, or anybody else. Do exclamation mark D20 in the chat to get got a 20. Oh my gosh.
Okay, okay.
So they are the size of a regular dog, but they weigh 1,500 pounds.
Wait, what?
We got a fat ass dog.
We got a fat ass dog.
They are dense. They are super dense. They're like the
Okay.
center of a star.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna do a whole new fucking thing.
So,
Because now I have a dog Buddha in mind, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd love to have the dog Buddha with a
Oh,
fortune telling
shit.
hat on.
so that is around 700 kilograms in a dog that is the size of a what did we say it was again?
Just about the same size as like a bulldog. Or like a
That's a
although-
bulldog.
Well, no, not not a bulldog, like a bull terrier. So like a sort of a medium-sized dog, but a bit on the bigger size. Okay.
I'm trying to see the density on this.
So I didn't actually program in a D3, but could we get a D6 roll and we'll just halve it? So that's exclamation mark D6. We're going to determine what kinds of hands our human animal hybrid has. Are they paws? Are they kind of like weird claws? Or are they hands? Just like you and I have.
Guys, I have the perfect image. Look at... It's
That
a
is a
Buddha
dense doggo! Exclamation mark D6.
It's a Buddha dog. I just googled Buddha dog on Pinterest and that's what came up.
Okay, so by the way, interesting. I was doing some math in the background, and this is very much a approximation and a little bit of guesswork here. So our dog, its length to weight ratio, so its density is about 20 times of what a normal dog is. So I looked up what kind of fits that area in terms of material. Well, gold and platinum would fit that perfectly. So gold and platinum are
You're
about
rich.
because like a dog is a little bit less heavier than water because obviously they can float. So that is similarly to gold, because gold is around 90.3 times or platinum and denser than water, and platinum is around 21.4 times denser than water. So basically, we've got a very, very expensive dog here.
Okay, so Damien rolled a 2, which means from our 3 choices of a natural paw, a partial hand, or a full hand, they have a natural paw, which means that our Chungus cannot manipulate objects because they've got paws. They don't have fingers, so they can't even open doors for themselves. They have to get
That's
around
okay,
by
they're
rolling.
psychic. They're
That's
psychic,
true.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
they don't care.
They don't care. They're just walking around, stretching the floor because they weigh so much, and then go, "There, you know what? This door, Bab,
All
it's
right,
open."
we
Get
need
over my
another
way."
D6 because we need to know, does our Chungus speak with normal human words, or do they just make guttural moans, or do they indeed they just communicate purely by psychic means? Also, we don't know. If they don't speak, maybe they don't even communicate psychically with words. Maybe they just make images or emoji. Okay,
So-
a 6.
You know what I think right now? This could be totally like a Studio Ghibli character.
Yeah,
from
Yes.
some
this could.
Studio Ghibli movie.
This could.
Because it's weird, but it's also adorable.
Absolutely. So a 5 means They have got full speech, sophisticated vocal cords equal to that of most humans. They can also learn singing, imitating voices, and ventriloquism. So that's very exciting.
So a singing 700-kilogram psychic dog, Buddha
Yes!
dog, that has no opposable thumbs, but it has a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, I like the idea that it psychically projects memes. Yes, I'm down with that.
It's like...
So maybe some people don't... So no, this totally works with what we've got. So most people never hear the voice of this creature. They only get memes projected into their minds.
And when he has like a vision, he sings the vision. You know, like...
Ooh.
Yeah, true. Hold up.
Okay, this is an incredible creature already. Let's see what's next.
I need something here. I'm working on something as well.
Okay, could we get another D6? Because we need to find out, does this dog stand up or not? Or are they confined to all paws? I guess bears do stand up. D6, we got a 5. So this is a bipedal 1,500-pound psychic singing dog. So it walks around somehow on incredibly strong legs.
Okay, I'm almost done.
Excellent.
What are you working on?
Okay, it had to be done, guys. It had to be done.
Whoa. What monstrosity have you created?
Just need to be sure I get the right thing. There we go.
Ah! You have received the blessings of
Yes.
our Doge
Nice
friend.
meme.
All
I
right,
can actually do better.
we've got one more. So this doesn't work very well with the which we're doing it, because this is a very important one, which is how passing is our dog. I need a D6 roll to determine if it's just a dog, it's a horrifying dog-human hybrid, or if it's a human who looks like a dog. The answer is partial. So this is a vaguely human-looking dog who could pass for human in bad lighting, but as soon as you saw them directly, you would be horrified to discover that it was not a dog, nor a person, but something in between.
Have we created an horrendous version of Mr. Peanut Butter from BoJack
Yes!
Horseman? We kind of have.
I feel like
haven't
this is
we?
like if Mr. Peanut Butter and Tom Kench had a kid.
Yeah. If Mr. Peanut Butter and Tom Kench had a kid, we would have this monstrosity, whatever the hell this is.
Oh god. I mean, we know who he got the weight from.
Roger, I don't envy you drawing this.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
It's gonna be a roughie. It's gonna be a
I'm
rough
sure
one.
my arts teacher from school, if she would see this, she would be so proud of me.
Alright, so one last thing. We wouldn't be an RPG adjacent property here if we didn't have an alignment for our character. So this is going to be one of our most, I guess, story-driven characters so far. So could we get another D6? Because we're going to choose between good, selfish, or evil. Apparently that's our 3 choices here as far as characters go. I guess selfish is the neutral option? D6, it's a 4, so we have a selfish human-dog hybrid who can tell the future and speak in memes and I don't know, it's just awful in every single way.
It's awful. It's already awful.
What colors do we pick for the doggo?
Oh, that's true. What colors? We don't have a table for that.
Okay, cold or warm tones.
Ooh, okay. Could, let's go for cold being 1 to 3. Could I get another D6 in the chat? So cold 1 to 3, warm 4 to 6. That's a roll, sorry, exclamation mark D6. It's a 5,
warm
so it's
colors.
warm.
Nice. At least he can be a regular brown dog so far.
All right, so yeah, I guess our dog is. Should we gender roll randomly as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
can we get on the
He's
D6?
asexual.
So 1 to 2 will be male, 3 to 4 will be female, and 5 to 6 will be non-binary. It's a non-binary dog. All right,
Hell yeah.
excellent.
All right.
I'm in for that.
I mean, honestly, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like our hybrid has already transcended any notion of normal, signifiers here of any kind. Also, that's a fantastic picture you found there.
Yeah, I mean, had to do something here. had to have some form of input in this random ass character creation we're doing. Okay, so to recap,
yes,
we have. Hold up, I have an idea. Give me Phil, Pete.
All right.
Give me like 1 minute.
So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be going through some high-level concepts for what kinds of things a half-human dog baby compressed star meme machine would generally do in League of Legends. So do let us know in the chat what kinds of things would you imagine if you saw this being a champion spotlight that was coming out. What kinds of things would you not be surprised to see this kind of character do? Oh no, Exodus is still going. Okay, all right. I guess I'll start us off here with, so I think if we're going for, let's narrow in some of our concepts here. So we need a way to communicate. Oh,
Okay.
Barry's bones. I like the idea.
Pete,
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm
Yes.
ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
All right, Exodus, hit us. What have you got?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming for the first time to the stage, he's a rural animal. It's a psychic astrological dog, roughly dog-sized. He weighs around 1,500 pounds, has paws but no hands. He has a beautiful singing voice. He can physically project memes into your head. He is bipedal, half human, half dog, very selfish and non-binary. It is this monstrosity!
Amazing.
Okay,
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, that was terrifying.
that was really terrifying.
That
Running
sounds
Mike.
like a intro for like a villain in an anime.
Yeah,
I think this could be a central part of an anime. Hey Dougie. Do any of you guys know what Hey Dougie is?
Hey, Dougie. No idea.
No, apparently we're making some, there's another character like this called Hey Dougie. They always know what he's on about. Okay. Okay, so from Mike, we have the concept of using bones in some way, and I feel like that's a pretty good way to communicate dog.
Yeah. That can be kind of like a sort of Bart thing, where he needs to roam the map, and he has to collect bones and stuff.
Yeah?
Ooh, actually, you know what might be a cool thing? Remember how dogs forget where they buried their bones?
That's
Okay,
true.
yeah.
I guarantee you, humans will do the same if we give them the option in League. So, for example, you can say you need to bury 8 things. You need to bury 8 bones, and then in 10 minutes, you need to dig them up again. But we're not gonna give you a visual indicator where they are. So you need to remember where you buried your 8 bones.
That sounds like a terrible idea. I'm all for it.
Just straight around, fucking.
No. They have to be.
Gone.
We'll put something in there, so they have to be spread out enough. So they have to be at least so spread out to, let's say, half a screen, so you can't just put them all in one place.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. And maybe there could be some kind of interaction with other people finding those bones. They could be like Rek'Sai tunnels. There's like a little indicator on the ground if someone stays there for a little while.
Well,
that
no,
they
but
dig up their bone.
But if we give the enemy their an indicator, then we must give our own champion indicator, right? Or do we just say no, we don't. We just don't.
All right. Well, I like the bones idea. I think that's already solid.
Yeah.
But how can we bring in? So I think the big stuff we've got to hit here is communicating that this is a psychic dog. I feel like that's pretty important. And the memes part, I have no idea how we're going to bring that in a mechanical way.
Okay, so psychic
Emotes.
part, tinfoil hat, done. We're done with that. You know immediately. He's a what are we doing? You immediately know he's a psychic dog. No, we can give him like something. Actually, can we give him one of these thingies on his head? You know that they have in cartoons, where if somebody's trying to do hypnosis, the
hypnodisc kind of thing.
Yeah, the hypnodisc. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Roger. Is that in our wheelhouse to have a hypnosis disc on their forehead?
Or we can give him like psychic eyes, like they do with Psycho Toad, Psycho Frog from Futurama.
Oh yeah, Hypnotoad. Yeah.
Hypnotoad, that's the one. Hypnotoad.
Okay,
Oh
I'll put that
God.
down as potential avenues to go with. So either hypnosis disc or Hypnotoad eyes. So Reed has an interesting idea, which is that you have some sort of indicator, but if someone on the enemy team walks directly onto it, it destroys it, but they don't know where it is. So they can just do it by accident, but they can't do it on purpose.
Oh! Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Maybe it's not like a kind of a pointing indicator, but like a you are near to this kind of indicator.
Yeah, kind of like a Warwick sense of smell, where it's like it's not directly an arrow, but it gives you a general idea.
Yeah. So you can sort of narrow it in, and if you... It's more of a reminder. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So the psychic part, we've got how we can communicate that visually, but gameplay-wise, there aren't very many champions who are kind of coded as psychic at all
true.
in League.
That's actually true.
So what kind of things can we have? What says psychic to you when we're talking about champion abilities?
It kind of screams mage almost, where it does like a sort of that can actually be his ultimate, like mind crush, where he kind of literally makes you mad, or actually where he gives you we can give him fear somewhere, where he just shows you very scary memes and then you're feared for like a couple of seconds.
Or he just makes everyone from the enemy champions, like walk towards your allied champions for just like 1 second, Just like a multiple, like a complete charm, like what Ari does, but like on all the champions.
Oh, like
all
an
the
AoE
enemies.
charm. Yeah.
Because like Ari would be like the only thing that would come close to something that's like psychic or karma, because they're like shrine maidens. So they're like in the connection towards him.
Okay.
Oh,
He could be like the ultimate, boss from the shrine.
Yes, he could be the shrine guardians, though I have to admit, I don't understand about that kind of cultural stuff at all, so I'm always maybe a little bit leery about getting into, like, appropriating that.
Using its psychic powers to throw dogs sounds funny. Well...
Oh, you mean like a dog throwing dogs? Oh, there's a certain logic there? I don't know. So, I guess I think the larger concern here is you mentioned the whole mage thing. So, and I guess Roger was saying as well with like Aurelia and Karma things is that...
Oh yeah, Aurelian Soul is also very psychic.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we either have the psychic stuff be a method that things happen and they're functionally a mage, really. As in, they could be getting their powers from anywhere, but they just happen to be psychically flavored. Or we try and find something which is more, which is more specific to being a psychic move, as it were, versus just, this could be on a mage, but just, it's made out of energy rather than psychic gubbins.
Well, the thing is, if you define psychic as in, is he telekinetic or is he...
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, does he mess with your mind? We can do maybe a little bit of both, where most of us... I definitely say if we give him forms of CC, it has to be a fear or a charm then. Because that kind of fits in with him being psychic, right? Where you can just go, boo, spooky, or you just are manipulated into going somewhere. I'm thinking of maybe this is perfect opportunity to actually create a new status effect. But I wouldn't I would have no idea what that would be.
Okay, I'll tell you what. On the list of psychic abilities on Wikipedia, there are there are 25 different kinds of psychic ability. So if we could get a
25,
D100
okay.
roll in the chat, I guess we'll take away... if it's over 25, we'll take away 25.
Can you, okay, 71, and then...
So we just take away
mine-
25s until it gets into 25.
Yeah, so minus 50 on that. That's 21.
Alright, so 21 is 4 up. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's kind of cool. Have you ever heard of Retrocognition?
Retrocognition, okay. No.
That's the ability to supernaturally perceive past events.
Ah, okay. So
Immediately, I'm thinking maybe something like Echo's Trail, but for other champions.
you know what? You know what's hilarious? This works with his bones, because he can.
Oh, yeah?
He can look into the past and see where did I bury my bow. That is insane.
Do we want to have a secondary psychic power as well, or do we want to have just the one?
Yes. No.
All
No. Secondary psychic power. There we go.
All right, another D100, please, from the chat. Exclamation mark D100 will give him a second psychic power to go with Retrocognition, which I guess it's not. Yeah, Retrocognition isn't actually that weird. 71. Wait, wasn't that exactly what we got before? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
So,
Okay.
Let's do
Again.
another one then.
Again.
Oh gosh, we're really good at this. Alright,
Okay.
12. That's a bit more. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Materialization. The creation of objects and materials or the appearance of matter from unknown sources. So, I think this is like, it would... Spirit summoning is, I guess, what
Yeah,
would be.
sort of. So he can kind of, they can kind of summon. Okay, I think we need to make a distinction here. Is it a fantasy, like an illusion, that the dog is summoning, or is it something that is actually tangible?
Oh, let's see. Read. So, charm for half a second is close enough you can see the monstrosity and you get feared for 1 second. What's that following up on? Oh,
have
sorry,
a
Reed.
question.
Yeah, I missed you saying before. Yes, Roger?
Let's just say, in general, does he have piercings? Do they have piercings?
That is not a bad call.
Alright.
I'm not just talking ear piercings, but like also due to the fact that they don't have a shirt. Other piercings?
Alright, chat. So, Reed was expanding on the dog thing, so... I think... Sorry, on the bones thing, I think? Saying that the... Reed, could you kind of clarify with the context of what you're talking about with the charm thing? Because I'm not quite sure what you mean. But an open question to the chat. Should this dog have piercings? I guess a yes or no on piercings for the dogs.
I'm trying in the meantime to get this poster. There we go.
Oh, Xavier was talking
There
about
we go.
giving a charm or a fear. Can you remember
Yeah.
the context for that?
Yeah, so giving it sort of with its psychic abilities, I think the fact that it can kind of manifest objects would tie into there, where maybe it's even a double status effect where, so first thing, somebody's charmed running towards you. Second thing, somebody's feared running away from you. So it can kind of, so the dog can kind of switch between certain status effects, which I think would be cool.
Okay, I like that idea. Damien's into piercings, so apparently the answer is yes.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
This is just an idea which I want to put out here as a kind of concept. Is if you could see like the echo trails of everyone on the opposing team, and maybe on your team as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that you could do something with that, like manifest that person as a sort of fiddlestick style thing temporarily. and do something around that.
What if that's an ultimate? Because that's really powerful. But what if that's an ultimate where he forces an echo ult onto somebody?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Okay, let's put it in there as a... So let's get that as a concept.
And he doubles up on all the damage you've taken during that part. So, for example, Echo he puts himself back into place where it was 2.5 seconds ago. He heals a standard amount, and then he heals more based on the damage he took in those 2.5 seconds. But what if this is the reverse, where he can force an Echo onto somebody, and the amount of damage they've taken over that period, he kind of doubles up on that one. He says, "You know what? You're definitely dead now."
Yeah, I think it's a straightforward idea, but I think that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reed was talking about look into the past with a long cooldown ability that lets you see where the bones are. Okay.
Yeah, that can be a thing.
Okay, so force targeted enemy to revert to position from short time ago. I'm gonna be not drawn into specifics.
Oh, what if
any damage they took?
It's not the dog that buries the bones. The enemy players bury the bones, and the dog needs to find them.
Okay, how would that work?
Okay, so you're not going to be allowed to put them into your own base because that's too much. So we'll give it you'll have to put them at least in certain areas. But it can be if he gets all the bones, he gets a reward. Like and every bone he gets a reward, he gets a treat. He's a good boy.
Who's a good boy?
Who's a good boy? But when somebody dies,
Wait, he's non-binary. Who's a good dog?
It's a good day.
They are the best pooch.
It's a good boy.
Okay, so
I don't know.
So I think the fight. So we haven't really So this is one of the things where we need to try and figure out what kind of champion this is and why the finding the bones makes sense for them. Like, what is this doing in the game, rather than just being like, it's fun to have in there, therefore we've got a bone finding mechanic. Like, how can we skew this in such a way as to make it like, if this is a map traversal thing, then it feels like it's almost always going to be a jungler.
Well, no, it can also be just. I was thinking it can also actually be a mid laner.
Okay.
Or a top laner. Just it can be a solo laner that just really needs a lot of time to scale, and the bones are kind of that thing where if the dog gets a few kills early on, he actually gets a few extra bones. And then, so if you, let's say, for example, you kill somebody, you go looking for a bone, and the bone makes you stronger. So the more bones you have, the stronger you will become.
Okay.
Is basically the idea I have.
So if we take the most straightforward way of doing that, then maybe, as Reed says, that the most obvious thing to do is if somebody dies, they leave bones behind.
Yeah.
And so cool. You get, if you kill someone, you get bones. If they die somewhere else, you can go and get the bones, but they're not necessarily marked there forever.
Yeah, I like that idea. So if somebody dies, they leave bones, and if you can get a takedown, you can go digging for those bones.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we have to figure out. So that's another question: so if the bones are they exactly where the person died, or are they just nearby?
Oh, fuck. I'd say they're very close by. I'd say they're definitely like in vision range, at least.
Okay. So yeah, so if we try and bring this in as a concept, so if we're kind of like coming with this with a mid laner, this is a mid laner who's very heavily encouraged to get out of mid lane and roam and generate kills and be part of as many fights as possible, because then they have the quickest access to bones.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't want to be per se in fights. They want to be. Sorry, they don't want to be in fights early. They just want to have takedowns in fights early, meaning like assists and stuff. So if a fight is happening, it's very beneficial for not per se funneling gold into the dog, but funneling bones into the dog. Wow, I never thought I would say that sentence in my life.
All right, so yes, playstyle is scaling.
Scaling?
Intending to get as many assists as possible to scale faster. So roaming, pick up bones from other lanes. Okay, cool. Oh wow, yeah, Roger's not holding back on the piercings at all.
I asked. Okay, they wanted it, so I gave it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Exodus. So we've got our psychic, incredibly dense dog who walks around and does memes.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of playstyle is their general playstyle? We're talking about scaling, so are they like on the scale of like damage and farming and resilience and mobility? Like where would all of those kind of axes make sense?
Since it's a super heavy dog, I would not give the dog mobility.
Okay, so let's go for damage.
Actually,
farming,
maybe that
sustain.
can actually factor in there. We can kind of make him give him an immunity to displacements or something along those lines because he's just too heavy.
Yeah, I like that idea. Reed wants an AP melee infinite stack scaler. I think we're probably in that kind of thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like an AP scaler, maybe similar to Vega, where you get rewarded for all the stacks you get in the form of stats.
Okay, so we're talking about probably low movement speed then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's currently completely immune to crowd control because that's probably a little too much.
No, yeah, you have a black shield, but you're never completely you're immune to spells. To like, I think spell immunity is not the same as being Mundo. Actually, hold up, Mundo is.
So Mundo's got a shield that is in place for the first one that hits him, and then it has to recharge. So there is some built-in counterplay there that you can sort of just do it twice.
Maybe we can also do something else where it's, for example, if Mundo's passive, when he gets displaced, instead of him getting that, or when he gets hard CC'd, instead of him getting hard CC'd, he drops the canister and he regens a little bit of health. What if it's the opposite, where it's sort of a thorn mail if you do hard CC on this guy? Because, so if...
You take damage?
Yeah, you take damage if you hard CC the dog.
Okay. Interesting idea. But does the CC still apply?
The CC, I'd actually say it's the same as the Mundo mechanic, where it's the CC, so the CC shield is gone and it needs time to recharge. Or something.
Reed saying you get CC'd insteid of him.
No, that's way too broken.
What about this
Fiora.
idea of this is sort of similar to Mundo. Well, I say sort of, it's very similar to Mundo. What about if he just dropped bones when he got CC'd, that he actually loses some of his scaling, like it falls out of him and he has to go and get it back.
Ooh, I like it in a sense, but then the bones need to give him a lot of scaling. Because basically you have a built-in Magi's, but even worse because you don't need to kill the dog, you just need to be CC'd.
Yeah,
remember, Fiddlesticks can just press Q on you and you lose your bones then.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's move away from. Okay, so
they've been saying the rings in Sonic. Yes, it's a very similar idea.
Okay, let me think. So,
well, yeah, if the This is really saying maybe you don't lose them forever, so that the. Well, let's talk that through. So, if you did lose your scaling bones, like, and they kind of like scattered out of you, and you had to go get them back, it would need to be a lot of them, or it needs to be a proportion of your bones. Otherwise, you just wouldn't care. Like if it was like one bone, you just like whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's got to be a noticeable amount, but at the same time, it's got to be recoverable in some way, like they're saying in the chat, because I think that would feel awful if you'd never gotten them back.
It does. It is interesting because, for example, one of the things that people will complain about infinite scalers, like in Nessus and Vega, it's this champion is too strong. But imagine, so whenever you get killed, you drop a percentage of your bones. You can pick those bones up again. But imagine you get killed, so you're going for a team fight, and you get killed under it, like under a Nexus turret. How are you ever going to get this? Getting those bones back is going to be very difficult.
I think that's an interesting idea. We could run with that for a while.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a small.
Oh, that's okay.
For something.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the idea that we're gonna go probably the most extreme end. So let's say that our human-animal hybrid is completely crowd control immune. But every time they ignore hard crowd control, they drop a significant amount of their bones. So let's say a large amount. So drops, I don't know, 25% of bones on taking hard CC. So this is going to inform our... Oh, let's roll for the amount. You're right, Damien. Give me a D100. We'll roll for the amount and make a design choice based on that. Brilliant idea, Damien. 32%. All right. We're going to go with 32%. Oh, gosh. Let's see. So Reed had a further idea. You get CC'd, you drop the bones like the Mondo passive. Cool. If you walk over them, you get them back immediately. If an enemy steps on them, they get buried and you have to dig them out again. Yeah, Reed, I like that idea. If not collected quickly, will need to be dug out. So dug out is going to be our mechanic here. Let's make this a little smaller. Hoop, and a beep, and a hoop, 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 hoop. Why can I not make it bigger that way? Oh, maybe it just doesn't work that way. Okay, yeah, Reed, I think that's a really good idea. Literally, this whole bone collecting mechanic is just because they're a dog, and I love it. We've had a lot better reasons for doing stuff in the past, but hey. So, if digging things out is a mechanic, then we need to have a skill that's going to involve digging in some way. Probably the Abyssal Voyage of Tam Kench would be the most obvious way to go, but no one's ever done a digging mechanic like Pokemon. Where, well, no, I suppose Tam Kench and Rek'Sai maybe are the closest you can get to it. Oh yeah, Reed, you're right. We did give people someone on Aussie animals because they were Australian. You're right. We haven't got anything to fall back on. We've got no shame whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, what did I miss?
All right, so Damien rolled for what percentage of bones were dropped when you got CC'd. So we're gonna go with the. This character is completely immune to crowd control because they are like a star. But anytime they get hard crowd control, they drop 32% of their bones, a percentage that might get changed down the line. They just drop a significant amount of their bones on taking hard CC. Reed had a really good idea that these bones would be, you could collect them, but if enemies stood on them, they would become buried again. So I feel like probably if we're going to tie we need to figure out the digging mechanic here, because it feels like we've built digging into the kit inherently by having bones as part of the kit. So
what if every takedown the dog gets 1 dig.
Oh, dig. Right, yeah.
Counterfeit.
You understood what I was hearing there. So, I wasn't the only one. What?
Hey, how you
So,
doing?
what's the reasoning there with the getting to dig only once per takedown?
So the reasoning is you want to incentivize them for getting a kill, incentivize the dog for getting a kill, but you're a very snowbally character. You're completely immune to crowd control, which is insane. But it is literally insane. But you need to scale off your bones, meaning okay. So the only way to get these bones is to dig. So the only way to dig is to get takedowns. So it's very much almost a definition of feast or famine. It's kind of like with the Draven, like how a Draven character plays out. Where if you don't get kills as Draven, well, your lane is kind of like that's what you want to do with Draven. You want to get kills ASAP. Also, I had another idea.
Okay.
What if the bones? So you can also you gradually also get bones passively based on your ability power.
Okay.
For example, you'll get a bone passively every 20 ability power, meaning that okay, so you're doubling up on your snowbally champion, but you're also doubling up on if you die, the thing that makes you extraordinarily powerful also falls off faster.
It's an interesting idea.
What if he gets movement speed when he loses bones because the bones are made of gold and weigh him down?
I mean, if I kind of like that idea, if only because if we're going to give someone a ludicrously strong CC immunity ability, the idea that they're ridiculously slow when they're... Oh no, sorry. So it's, I think Reed's saying, yeah, so the more bones they have, the faster they go. They're just sort of explaining it the other way around than I would have expected them to. That's why I'm getting a little confused.
Right, the more bones they have, the faster they go.
No, it's the more bones they have, the slower they go. They just phrased it the opposite way around than you'd expect. I'm down with that idea. So the reason I'm a little hesitant on the only digging up bones like once every takedown is just because I quite like to have digging as part of the kit in some way. And that sort of conflicts with that idea.
But if you get if you get digs based on ability power, then is that something we can do?
Well, the gating mechanic at the moment is the bones appear when someone gets killed. I guess so. I'm trying to think of like the larger pitch here. So what's you trying to sort of avoid having happen by doing it that way?
So,
is getting to scale too fast?
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking of we're kind of making a mage Draven sort of, where if the dog starts scaling, or if the dog gets a few kills early, it can really snowball. So, how to incentivize you to get these kills? Well, maybe when you get a kill, you get an extra dig or something, or you get an extra dig. Might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting
making the cannons drop bones. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And cannon minions. So determining what things leave bone behind is quite a good way of tying this character to a particular lane. Because if that works on large monsters, then immediately they're a jungler. But if it doesn't work on large monsters, then they just can't be a jungler at all.
Yeah. So let's. Do we want to make a jungler? Or do we want to make this? Want to make a laner?
I kind of like the mid lane idea. I also really do like the idea of making the. Because so far, one big thing we haven't done, as well as not figuring out the digging mechanic, is we also don't know what the bones do.
Yeah, I think that's also something I was thinking about. Okay. Can the bones be like a percentage scaler? Where, for example, if you have 40 bones, you do 40% more damage. Doesn't need to be those exact numbers, but something along those lines, where the bones percentagely make you stronger and stronger. Or we can all, but that is extraordinarily scaling, right? Because that goes up rapidly, like seriously fast. If you get 10 bones, that's 10% extra. It's like, 10% extra, maybe you want 50 ability power more. But if you're in the late game and you have 40 bones, that's insane. That's like to give you an example, you can build 700 ability power on a mage late game. If you do 40 with that, so 700 times 1.4, then all of a sudden you have 1,000 ability power. So you're basically giving somebody 300 ability power for free. That's kind of like what Vhagar in Vhagar territory.
Wait, did you decide on this concept just because you wanted bones to give bonus damage?
Pun intended. Come on.
No, that wasn't the idea.
Well, it is now.
It is.
All right,
now.
so we're just incorporating every idea that everyone's had. So they're CC immune. So we've actually got a kind of interesting idea hidden here, which we could easily move to a different champion, which is a scaling champion where their scaling mechanic is more of a expendable or kind of manipulatable resource rather than just the kind of gating of power mechanic, which is what Nasus is. It's just like he could not have the scaling and his ability could just have that damage built in, and it would just be it would be the same, but he would play differently.
It will be 100% the same, but he would play differently. Like, for example, that's why stuff like support Vhagar works, because it doesn't really matter. After a while, you don't need the ability power anymore. It doesn't really matter anymore. You're just strong already.
Yeah. I think... So, right now, we've got someone who, if they are late-ish game, they're going to be... So if we go for... So, damage type... So we've got scaling. So once they have scaled, are they going to be sustained damaged or burst damage? Roger, what? You look like you're very pleased with yourself. What have you done now? What have you done?
I'm going to take a look at
Got
this.
a belly button piercing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like...
You see, if this whole evening hadn't happened, you wouldn't have made this design ever, probably in your life.
Okay. The $1 million question. Can you tell me what the background is?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I've got
Buddha.
a table for that.
It's Buddha, so it needs to be Nirvana, which
No.
basically... No? Isn't Buddha Nirvana?
No, it's not nothing with Buddha or Nirvana.
Okay, but what instead of the religious Nirvana, right? We just put the band Nirvana there, and right, and we have Kurt Cobain circling, and he can give, and the dog can give you visions of Kurt Cobain.
Moving
The
on.
non-binary flag. The background is the
let us know-
non-binary flag.
That works. Let's go non-binary flag for the background.
Yeah.
Direct
Yeah,
flag.
because the dog, it is non-binary, so...
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, David, I don't know. I know what's happening with Exodus. It's all going a bit Pete Tong.
He took too much cough syrup. He's drunk.
Yeah, I'm high on cough syrup at the moment. Sorry, guys.
All right, so we need to figure out... Yeah, so I guess we basically figured out what the bones do. The bones are a damage amplifier, but they're also a movement inhibitor at the same time. So
Yeah.
you get larger even as you go through the game and you acquire more bones and you start to slow down and kind of move.
Yeah, I'd say the bones slow him or slow the dog down up until a certain point. Otherwise, you just go there.
Yes, it would need to cut off at a certain point. And you wouldn't be able to move.
Okay, I've also got this idea of the dog floating for some reason, is kind of like Yumi, but he's just crossed leg, sitting like this, floating.
I can see that.
Meditating.
Meditating, basically.
So if we go for e-mobility, so meditating, floating, that could be a way to bypass the slow for a period of time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we still need to figure out so digging mechanics. So do we just have a ability that allows them to dig into the ground and maybe stay there for a little bit?
Did I do the Nirvana logo right?
Close enough. We don't want it to be
Close
too close.
enough. Close enough, yeah. I mean, it is an emoji, so basically, can't really copyright us.
I will be back a second. Please carry on while I'm away grabbing my water.
Okay, so I'm thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're thinking.
So, what if that's usually a bad sign? But what if the dog? What if the dog just? You know how you have this little indicator for like GP Ultimate? You have an extra button for like an Aurelia. Not an Aurelia, for a Kindred and a Rengar. What if he literally just has a button that says "Dig here"? I think that's fairly interesting. Where you just have an extra little added-on button where you can just go dig here. All you need to do, bam,
Right
done.
click, right mouse click.
Right click, right mouse click, right mouse click on this button. Solved. Moving on. Q. What does the Q do? Well, Q, obviously, damage. Q stands for damage, right? So, Q is just Mind Blast. Take a lot of damage. There, done. W? Nobody cares about W.
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
No, wait, 1 second. Like I'm trying not to do like another page for like the abilities. So I'm just gonna, make them here.
Roger, you know what we are, right? We're now 2 kids, and the teacher is gone.
Fuck yeah.
Not gone for very long.
Too bad.
All right. I mean, if we're gonna go, yeah. So I have my headset on, so I could hear everything you said.
Okay. Oh no.
Actually, so yeah, I kind of like what Reed is saying there, where if we're gonna build this person around their kind of resource mechanics, that you could actually expend those resources yourself to do more damage or kind of get a greater effect on one of the abilities.
Ooh, every ult costs you a bone. Because that ult is extraordinarily powerful, seriously. That ult is just a point and click, bam, you're dead.
Oh,
So
Goodbye.
do you think maybe we could have this guy who doesn't have a mana bar, or sorry, and instead just uses bones as their resource for everything?
That might also be a good thing. That might also be a good idea, where they just use bones for everything. And they can... but if we do that, we need to give him like... Okay, but how does he do lading phase then? Or how does the dog do lading phase then?
I think... Well, the abilities could use up a bone if they have a bone, but they don't require a bone to be cast.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Gotcha. Okay, so then we need to give the dog a steady income of bones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're getting a bone every other wave, aren't they? So
Yeah.
maybe we could have different kinds of bones. Like if just everything in the whole game dropped bones, but they
The
were
problem
like...
is then the thing is why I have issue with. So either we need to give him we need to give the dog a shit ton of bones, because otherwise, why would you use your abilities? Because you're expanding a resource, or we need to limit it to one specific thing where you need to kind of decide. Now you can choose a bone to amplify. Now you can choose bones to amplify something.
I think the problem we're having here is we don't know what we actually want this champion to do.
Yeah,
And that's why we're running into problems, because we don't. Yeah. So
let's get back to drawing board then. So this is it's a mage, it's a nuker almost. So it really wants to blow stuff up.
okay. So Nuka, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, nuker, extraordinarily immobile, but also is CC immune. But will lose a percentage of its power when it dies. Okay, so yeah.
So damage. So Nuka, and resource based.
Resource based. Okay.
So are they good or bad at farming?
I'd say
Depends on
they're
the player.
Yeah, that kind of depends on the player. I'd say good at farming, because it's necessary for you to be good at farming, because you want to get late game.
Okay, so we're talking about someone who can clear waves relatively easily, but yeah, doesn't have the ability to fight people. I guess the biggest thing which feels like it's going to inform a lot of what this champion's design is if we're working with a champion who could potentially be going very, very slowly, that we've got to kind of figure out, like, how do you use a champion and what do you use a champion like that for?
You kind of have to... actually, I think the way to think of this champion is think a little bit in the style of when you're playing against, or when you're playing as or against the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is a Mordekaiser that's 1 and 4, but still has a lot of CS. Can really, when he's split pushing, you know, okay, will I be able to deal with the Mordekaiser? You always need to be careful. But Mordekaiser is also extraordinarily slow. You can just, when he ults you, the best thing to do is just run away, and he's probably not going to catch you. So I think that's the similar playstyle we need to get with the dog, where when he's in a lane and you're trying to get him solo, he might, and if he's got a lot of CS, he might be able to just insta-bop you, but he's also probably not going to be able to run away if you just jump onto him with 2 or 3 people.
Okay, so the counterplay...
cans by boots. CC immune, cans by boots. I think that's a really good thing.
Sure.
Because he's floating. Or the dog's floating.
Well, I mean, he's got paws and they don't make anything in that size. But yeah,
Exactly,
no, I'm down with it.
Yep.
Yeah, Reed, I think the basic abilities using bones only if they're above a certain number works. So if we say that the sort of the general counterplay to the... So, rewind.
Yeah.
But tell me if I'm getting the wrong idea here. So we've got, like... We need to come up with a name for them, because they're definitely not really a human-animal hybrid anymore, because we just ended up with someone who was just an animal, really. But that's fine. So they kind of go park themselves outside a tower or an objective, I guess. And then they are hard to deal with in the short term.
They can just sit there. They can just sit there and do nothing. Or at least they sit there, clear the wave. If you want to dive them, it's going to be... They can just nuke you. So that's basically the idea. Almost like you're almost a movable turret at that point.
Okay.
So I'd say the Q can be something like Syndra, where, for example, it's just a small AoE effect, but big chungus damage.
Big chungus.
Big chungus.
Okay.
Ooh, get hit by it twice, get feared. Get hit by it 3 times, get charmed.
I'll put that in a note there as fear/charmed as a thing which can maybe try and fit in if it doesn't go anywhere else. So okay, so if we've got a burst mage who's very, very, very slow but is CC immune, then presumably your 2 ways of dealing with them are either to go where they're not, or to overwhelm their defenses by hitting them enough time in short order that they will still die anyway.
What if the Q is sort of a coney area and it's a bark? It's a psychic bark. And
I'm already on board.
It comes in like a cone area because it means you're very good at clearing waves. Right? Because if it comes into the cone, it does massive damage. It has range, but it's not too far. It's not too big of a range, meaning that...
So a flame spitter kind of thing.
Sort of a flame spitter, but it's a very instant thing. It's like a...
Oh, a Cho'Gath scream.
Yeah, kind of like a Cho'Gath scream almost. That's a very good thing, yeah. So basically, Cho'Gath scream, way more damage. If you get hit by it multiple times, you get status effects or something. Psychic Bork, yes.
Okay. Consumes bones for additional damage. Okay, this is a bit of a complicated. Let's see. Maybe put it up here. So abilities. Use bones above a certain amount as fuel. No regular mana usage. Gosh, this is already getting very complicated.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. So we've got a Bork. Oh, so Damien, do we want a nerdy name or something intimidating? What do you guys think?
Okay, let me look up famous dogs.
Bruh.
Bruh. Oh, actually,
Oopsie.
biggest dog ever, Guinness World Record.
Bruh. Why would you do that?
Oh, actually, hold up. You know, you
Yeah.
want to know what the name is?
Hmm?
The name from the big...
Chungus?
No, it's a Great Dane, and the name was Zeus. The tallest dog ever, Zeus.
I feel like
Yes,
we're already we need
let's
something
make a
probably not exactly
non-binary
Zeus.
zoos.
Okay. Or Giant George is the tallest dog ever.
Zorge then?
Zorge? Sure.
He's so large. Oh, Reed wants to have it called Balto. Why Balto, Reed?
Or Balto. I'm not against it. I'm not against Balto.
Balto's fine.
It has a
Yeah.
good ring to it, but why so specific?
So, Damien, we do try and make stuff that will theoretically land in League of Legends in some way, so I think Hawkins is a little too on the nose. Also, I don't think Stephen Hawkins is generally known for being psychic. A psychic dog.
What do you mean? How does he speak otherwise? Oh, read what happened there?
You guys have never seen Balto. So Balto is a pre-existing thing.
I've never seen Balto.
Balto, a 1995 film about it's an animated film about a dog.
Big dog?
Kevin Bacon voiced them. A wolf dog. What is it even about? Oh, it's a half wolf, so that kind of fits with the hybrid thing. If R1 was actually a hybrid, not just a dog. Oh,
Zorge, the human animal hybrid, huh?
Oh my gosh,
I
you
give
just
you-
got a ton louder next to this.
Oh, sorry. I give you a good prize. This is fucking... Okay.
Oh dear.
Okay, so the W. So Psychic Bork, then we have W.
Alright, I think just out of respect for Reed seems to be the one who's most passionate about the dog's name, so we can call
Balto.
him Balto if they want. I think people are okay with it.
Balto the Balding Chungus.
Alright,
That goes in there.
What do you think of the ability signs?
alright, we need to
Great.
figure out what their other abilities are, so right, so we got Psychic Bork. So no, I do agree, like we don't necessarily need to have dig as an ability. Like it could just be when you come across a little pile on the ground, like when you get close enough to it, you just right click on it and you dig it out.
Yeah, like
But-
for example with Senna's soul, she just kind of right clicks them.
A bit
Yeah.
like the honey melons in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar.
And then you have to walk over them to like collect them. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so since we
Oh, you just actually it's super easy. Why didn't we think of it? You just if you stand exactly on the spot where the bones are for like 2 seconds, you dig them up.
Sure.
That's basically the thing we're looking for.
Okay.
But are they like tanky enough so then like if they take hits?
I mean,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
this definitely feels like one of our most confusing to follow champions we've ever done. But I'm liking the stuff. Damon's actually heard of Balto. Okay, that's good news. Oh, so Mike did have a question of, does Balto the Balding Chungus? I don't think we can keep Balding Chungus in there. That's a little too on the nose. Is this
Balto?
another character's dog, or is Balto their own dog?
Balto's their own dog. Balto is definitely their own dog. Like Balto has reached a higher level of dog existence, so they don't need an owner anymore.
Yeah. Don't
I think
forget.
self-owned
Data.
is that sounds right.
Self-owned. Actually, that can be part of like the character where Balto is continuously like, I don't need an owner. I'm an independent dog, and he continues trying to rub it into everybody that they don't need an owner. They can be their own dog. Okay.
Okay,
So
how
W.
about that? They're
Yeah.
Balto, their own best friend.
Yes. A little bit of self-love in there. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
he was
Reed,
selfish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
so Reed would like to make the digging up part of the W, and that the W interacts with it in some way. So also, I realized that there's a large mechanic which we've kind of forgotten about here, which is that Balto
Sure.
can see the spirits of people past. Like, we've completely forgotten that as a...
No, that's the ultimate.
But we have... It's not any part of any other part of that kit, though. Right now.
I mean, true, but similar with Echo, the boy who can travel back in time, he can only do so with his ultimate.
That's true.
That's kind of true.
Okay.
I include the pronouns they, them.
They.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what if the W? W needs to be big damage as well, but slow moving. So. What if it's like okay, I'm thinking here. So with the Q, you have one bit of area, but you kind of want to have a combination there. So what if the W is sort of like a Malzahar rift? It opens up, and it closes very, very slowly. If you're stuck in there, you have... Okay, if you're stuck in there, you have actually an amplification of damage, sort of. I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me this today with this particular champion. Something is definitely not right, but I'm out of ideas.
Okay.
I'm honestly out of ideas.
That's
Really?
cool. Honestly, so...
Fuck you, Roger. Fuck you.
So Damien and Reed and everyone. So everyone watching, the reason why I think we're more coming across sort of problems is because we talked to Feral Pony before. I think he's kind of opened our eyes a little bit to how much more work we need to put into coming up with stuff and coming up with justifications for things, rather than just be like, wouldn't it be funny if they had this? Oh. So
I think maybe like the W could be something, you know, like something creating vision somewhere, you know, since you can't see like in the future or in the past and stuff like that. Maybe the W could be something. And since you mentioned like he's like a walking turret or something, you know, like that he can just like see, you know, with the globe, and then, you know, like look into his globe basically with the W, and then like on the mini map you see like one random enemy where they are. Could be lucky, you know, that you see one that's like close to you, or you could be unlucky and see like, oh yeah, he just respawned in base. You know?
Clairvoyance. That's actually the old clairvoyance thing. That might be a thing.
I love that as an idea. I'm just trying to think of why we can, why it would be like the ability for them specifically.
Well, since they're like, you know, like very like psychic and stuff, and then, you know, when they like look into the globe and they're like, haha.
W gives him vision of somewhere near one of the bones. That I like. That I really like.
Yes.
Yeah,
the vision
okay.
board, that would be also cool.
Yeah, so W gives you a sort of blue orb, like a scrying orb vision style, near your closest bone. I think that's cool.
Okay,
Or near your closest bone that you don't see, like that you don't see.
Well, yeah, maybe it could be the closest, the enemy who's closest to one of your bones right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So gain scrying vision of enemy closest to one of your buried bones. So one thing I notice is we've not actually built in the mechanic of burying bones to the kit at all.
Yeah, fuck that shit. We'll throw it out anyway.
Okay, so
I also kind of think we need to get rid of the E. Because
yeah,
if the
we
W
can do that.
is, yeah,
We do need a bit more
But I love
space in
my
this
little
kit, I
floating
think.
Buddha.
We
It's
could have that.
adorable.
We can keep the meditating floating part, because maybe it can just do something else as well.
it can do something else. I think the E needs, once again, this is a nuker. So this is somebody that will just blow you the hell up. So we need something that just can, an ability that does a lot of damage. So, I mean, it can be something similar, like, for example, Vega, where he just says, here is an ability, and it will, in this particular area, I will do a lot of damage, but you can see it coming. It's telegraphed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose if the playstyle for them is that they park themselves somewhere, then it would make sense to have an ability that enhances their ability to park themselves somewhere.
Mm-hmm. This can actually be like the Mind Crush ability, where it's sort of a channeling ability, and wow, you can see it coming. It's channeling ability, and in an area around Balto, he will do massive amounts of damage in like 1.5 seconds.
Also, like a Karthus Defile.
Yeah, kind of like a Karthus Defile, but all around Balto, and you can amp up the damage like mad, and then obviously it will scale better with the bones.
Okay.
That's the big damage. Yeah, Diana ult, something similar, but not the status effect.
So Reed found a way to incorporate your ideas into the queue, the Bork. But maybe it's it's either a wave clear tool, but if you hit an enemy champion with it, it goes onto a short cooldown, and then it gains further effects. So charms and then fears. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
We're running out of time, so let's go with that.
No, think of it as with Nico Q. So Nico Q, you hit it on a wave, does a little bit of damage, but if it hits a champion, it repeats itself.
Yes. Hit a champion.
Echoes.
What?
Never mind. It's I don't know what's wrong with me today. I think I still have a fever.
Go drink more cough syrup.
Yeah.
On the additional casts, I'm just gonna, for the sake of brevity, I'm just gonna go with Reed's original thing, which is you get to cast again. You apply a fear, then a charm.
Actually, I know what the E is.
Yeah.
So the passive part of the E is that Balto is floating. The active part of the E is that Balto just sits his fat ass down or drops it down, and he does massive damage around him. And because he weighs so much, it's boom, everybody takes damage. And that works.
You're just insulting him.
I mean, if Balto didn't
we could
get
build
so fat.
If we could build it in that Balto's ease puts them into a kind of a trance state where they go up to the normal movement speed, and then when that trance state ends, they drop and create the
yeah.
I
love it. So small speed up, and at the end of the speed up, you drop dead. You drop dead.
Damien, thank you for coming by. You've been fantastic. Thank you for doing all those dice rolls. Yes, this is one of the goodest pugs in existence. Their own best friend. May Balto bless you from this day until your last day.
Yes.
Okay. So the E is... We need a name for the E and for the W particularly.
For the E, I mean, I like Drop Dead. I really do. Well, we can do something else. Clairvoyance.
Drop Dead sort of suggests that they die.
Yeah. Okay. What if you? So it's meditating. You're floating. What's a good riot name to give this? Peak Transcendence or something along those lines.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
That would definitely be that's definitely a riot name, like Peak Transcendence.
It's not very flavorful. Well, though it is. It's just a little generic, but it works.
Yeah.
So, Reed was saying Charm second cast, Fear third. I guess... So this is one of the things where... I think it's fine for it to be either way around with the Q. So if the Fear is second, it makes it harder to hit the third. If the Charm is second, it makes it easier. No, Fear makes them run away from you.
Yeah,
so it will be harder to hit the thing because they're actually going away from you. If they're coming towards you with the Charm, then it's almost certain you would hit the third one.
Yeah, so I would say, and I like the fear third because it also means that if you get dove, then you go and you manage to hit it 3 times. But that's the thing, you need to hit the psychic board 3 times. Then if you don't kill that person the third time, well, it's good that they're running away from you because remember you're extraordinarily slow. Also, if you're being dove, this is a good defense tool. It's like a massive, effectively defense tool.
Sorry, I just got confused trying to do too many things at the same time. So which side were you on? Were you on the fear first or charm first side?
Definitely charm first.
Okay.
Because it makes it easier to hit your second Q. You can also say it goes on so you get another cast, but it also goes on like a second or a second and a half cooldown. So you can just, if you get hit by the first bark, you can choose to either get out of dodge or continue the fight.
Like, I think this is a champion that's
Mm-hmm.
that's so large in terms of their design stuff. I don't know if we can even finish them today properly.
Yeah.
But okay, let's make sure.
The freedom to name the ultimate and the passive.
Yeah.
I read like we can't like if we do stuff with the bones being reduced on abilities, then this is just another 2 hours we're going into. I like it.
I think it's the kind of thing that will come of this champion being iterated in playtesting.
Yeah.
That if people are like, this champion feels bad to play because I'm always feeling like I don't have enough bones to do anything.
So I think this is one of the champions that is actually very difficult to balance. That we have finally created a champion that is probably not healthy in League of Legends.
You said it's very hard, like, you don't have enough bones to, like, do anything, as if it's like you have to bone to win.
If we put this in, people are gonna have a bone to pick with us.
Oh dear.
Also, the passive, I called the passive Bone Digger.
Yeah, that works.
And the ultimate, stay good boy.
Stay good boy.
I actually like that a lot. Let's go.
I like
with
that a lot as well. Yeah. This has been one of our weirder episodes. Not gonna lie. This has been.
It has been.
I mean, come on. What do you expect? Like the time when we rolled what this is gonna be, that's where where we lost it. Like
That's
it
true.
didn't like escalate or something. It was never somewhere.
Oh my god, I love Reed. You mean the champ created by randomizer is unbalanced? Question mark. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh dear. Okay, I think the W could probably have a cleverer name, but we may not got it. Hey, Hyron, welcome over on YouTube. If you, for anyone who is watching the stream who may be coming by for the first time, we're coming pretty much to an end now, I think. So if you join our Discord, which you can get by just typing in tiny.cc/championforge into your web browser, that will bring you up to the Discord server. Yes, we probably can't leave this called Clairvoyance because that was a summoner spell and it's probably a bit too confusing. Bone Voyance? Bone Voyage?
Yes.
Bone
Also,
Voyage.
He's not non-binary. He's either non-bonary.
Yes.
We're gonna get in trouble for this one. Bone Scrying. I like it. Alright, Hyron. Bone Scrying. Yeah,
Peak
I think
bone
that's a good
sentence.
Yep.
No, bones crying. Okay, wait. Gotta rename. What about a voice line?
I got one. I got one through a voice line. I was thinking of one. So he digs up a rib cage, and he says, "This person was a liar. I can see right through them."
Really? Wow.
No?
Oh, that hurt.
All right, please, chat, help us to come up with some voice lines for Balto, their own best friend, because right now I'm in crisis mode with this.
Oh, Balto is French, and when he comes in, well, on the rift, he says bonjour.
Boned.
Yep, sure. Yep, bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Oh, somebody was killed here. No, I'm gonna find a missing bone. I'm Sherlock Bones.
Oh dear.
Ah, I'm in pain. I'm in Spain without the S.
I'm in Spain without the S.
Okay.
I think I'm punned out. I'm not sure.
Good.
You're boned out.
You're boned out. Oh, do we have a bon appetit joke in
Oh my god!
in there?
No,
yet?
wait. When he's like, you know, when he's like searching for all the bones, he's like, oh, I'm working so hard. I'm thinking I'm gonna have a bone out.
Hey!
A bone out?
Like a burnout.
Burnout with bone.
Okay, sure. It sounds like something else to me, but sure.
Counter.
You know how I keep
do
in
I
touch.
rub off on you like with my like thirstiness sometimes? Like where is this coming from?
How do I keep in touch with all of these spirits? I got a cell bone.
All right. Oh, jeez. You see, that
my
one you
God.
can get away with because you could at least sort of justify it in universe. I've lost my cell bone. There you go. It sort of makes sense. Exodus, how's your gruff French accent delivery?
Oh, it is pretty good because I work with a lot of French people. And I will
All right.
insult a lot of French people, but it is absolutely fine. I do not care.
Reed, Balto is not French, but this is not Balto from that movie. It has to be said, this is not the same character.
This is not the same character, Reed. Sorry to disappoint, but...
Alright,
Sorry.
I'm going to turn off the music. We're going to get a clean recording here of the lines for Balto, their own best friend.
What's the voice from Balto? Does he have like a soothing voice? Is like a high-pitched voice or a deep voice? I need
thinking-
It's a soothing voice, like it's very comforting.
Okay, so
Like very like make it like not no don't make it like deeper than your actual voice, but like make it just like try to make it like smooth, you know, as if you're talking to like a kid that's about to fall asleep.
Oh, okay. So
good direction there. But the Reed wants very deep and comforting. So you
no,
got two
no,
different directions here.
I can't do. I'm gonna follow Roger on this one. Sorry.
All right.
Reed, I'm really sorry. I've been ignoring you a lot. Okay, so let me get into character first.
Okay. You are a big, psychic, very heavy dog.
I am a big psychic, a very heavy dog. I am trying to be French. I think I got this. Is this okay, Roger?
You sound more
okay.
Russian than French, but sure.
No, this is the French stock, Peter. This is 100% of the French stock. Trust me,
Okay.
I have seen this.
All right,
Lose the
Balto.
H's.
Balto, their own best friend, in the studio, live in front of us. Balto, let's hear it.
I am Balto, my own best friend. Bonjour. Or I should also say, bon voyage. But if I don't see you again, it might be because I have a bone to pick with you. I am also getting kind of boned out of this job. And if you don't see me again, you can always reach me on my cell bone. Is that kind of what you were going for?
Well, that was a thing.
That was
Just
a
make
thing.
one sentence with all of the puns in it.
Yes, this is not usually how these line deliveries work, but sure.
You want me to do them
It was
again?
great.
No,
No.
definitely not.
I want a podcast with it. You just speak it in, you know, in the accent on Spotify.
Hello, my name
Like-
is Balto.
There we go. We've got the name for when you go on the run in the future. All right, I think that brings us to an end here
Hold up.
tonight.
Oh, no, before we go, Can we get the entire drawing a little bit bigger?
Oh yes, of course, yes. I
'cause
completely forgot.
There is something we didn't see here. So a little bit bigger on screen. So look at Balto, right? Look at him. Open chest, graffiti. This is a rapper's album. this splash art is literally a rapper's. It's literally an album cover.
Oh god.
That is actually amazing. I'm so impressed by how good that is.
That is actually amazing.
Can we get a zoom in on... I don't know if this is possible for you to do. Can we zoom in on the ability so we can have a quick closer look at the ability icons?
The new member of True Damage. Yeah, I like it.
He's spitting some verses there.
Spitting some verses, yeah.
Wait, let me do a bit there.
And can we go up a little bit just to get the names in as well? Sorry.
I can see Balto just going, "Yo, I dig up bones, but I bury bodies."
Bruh.
That would have been a good line.
That would have been a good line.
All right, I'll put that in on our list so we can pretend that we had it.
Collab with KDA.
Collab with Katie.
All right, so we've got Exodus. Would you mind taking us through with the ability to with the icons on screen what Balto, their own best friend, does?
Oh yes, and I will tell you absolutely what I do. No worries there, counterfeit. So the passive, or my passive, Bone Digger, I don't 100% remember, but if I'm not mistaken, I can dig for certain bones, and when I find some of these bones, I can take them with me, and I become a stronger boy. Now the Q was Psychic Bork. I can do it, and I do damage in a cone in front of me, and if I hit an enemy champion, I cast it again and again, and you are very screwed if I hit you 3 times. Now, Bone Skying, basically, I get vision of a... was it the enemy champion, or was it bones nearby?
I think it's both.
Okay, I think it's both somewhere. So basically, I get vision of bones nearby, and I go collect them and dig them up. With the E is, I sit my fat ass down on the ground after going for a small sprint, or a small meditational transcendent sprint. And if you are near me, your ass will get clapped. You will take a lot of damage. And and then it is my ultimate ability. This is the one thing you need to be careful. This is the one thing why people will pick me and play me. So you know how Echo can go back in time and heal a bit? Well, I do the exact opposite, Beach. I make you go back in time and make you take double damage from the damage you already take. So basically, it is a kill all button, and you will have to feed me for it. Thank you. My name was Balto, my own best friend.
Brilliant. All right.
Amazing.
So we're getting to the end here. I think, we've pretty much run out of time. I think we've run over a lot of time. So, Exodus, is there anything that you would like to shout out for the fine people watching here today before we go?
I mean, nothing all too big. Oh yeah, hold up. Next week it's BCS, baby. Hold up.
His mind is already blown.
Yeah. So next week it's BCS. It is our charity event, a charity event I've been organizing with the wonderful people from 7am for the last 3 months. We will also be on there, so we will have another Champion Forge on BCS. Please do check it out. We will be collecting money for charity. We'll be trying to get donations, and we have so many people. I think we have 70 people engaged, some of them big names, which we haven't announced yet, but keep an eye on Twitter. And just donate. It's a good cause. It's for Mind and L, and they focus on issues, especially young people who have mental health issues. So that's the one thing I want to shout out. Thank you very much. This was my TED Talk.
And Roger?
Let's just say my shout out is that this is the first non-binary character I've ever drawn, and it's also the first Pierce the dog, fat dog that I've drawn. And I'm really happy how it turned out, and I'm really glad that you guys allowed me to give him piercings like everywhere. So yeah.
All right, so I'm hoping we're correct in saying that if people want to see more of either of you on the various social platforms, you're all under the same name everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Balto.
cool. So again, anyone who hasn't already, please do head across to tiny.cc/championforge with a capital C, and that will give you the link to our Discord there. You can be notified of when we're next going to be streaming. I think I did remember to do it this time round. But yeah, that's going to be it for us. We should be back next week. Maybe we'll have a guest. We haven't sorted one out as of yet, so maybe we'll be back and doing more silly random nonsense. But this has certainly been a pretty memorable experience. Balto, their own best friend. Does anyone have any people we could raid? Because I actually am set up to raid this time.
Fido is streaming.
Yeah, we could do Finno.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Long-time friend of the stream. It's Finno. So they are playing League of Legends. Do stick around if you'd like to see that. But thank you guys so much for coming and joining us again. We'll be back next week at 1900 UK time, 2000 EU time. When are we on the BCS with this?
5. We are on at 1700 CET, so European time.
And that's, sorry, what date's that going to be?
The 23rd. So next week, on Tuesday, not on Monday.
Okay, so we'll probably do that in place of our regularly scheduled one then instead.
Yeah, I imagine that was the case.
Okay, so yeah, so next week we will be moving from Monday to Tuesday temporarily to be able to do a charity stream for the charity showdown. So that should be a whole lot of fun. I hope you guys will come and join us for that. We'll hopefully be able to get a guest in so we can design something with them. We can only hope it's half as weird as this. But for now, let's go check out Finno playing some teamfight tactics. Oh no, I can't raid this channel. Apparently it's not allowed.
Aww.
Okay.
I don't know why. It doesn't say why I'm not allowed to. Maybe they've turned it off in some way?
Yeah, probably that.
Okay, I'm trying to think of other people we could go for. Scurvy? As someone I apparently know? I don't know. They're playing God of War. That seems okay. If anyone likes God of War. Oh, Jamada's streaming. Let's see. What's Jamada's channel? Am I subscribed? I should be. They're playing Halo Infinite. Jamada's amazing. So, let's go and raid them.
Enjoy your pizza, Exodus.
Thank you. I have a meeting in like 2 minutes.
That sounds great.
All right. Yes. Go to your meeting. And we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday rather than our regularly scheduled Monday. Though we'll be back to Mondays again following that. Thank you guys. I'll see you on Jamada's stream.
Bye-bye.
Okay, raid's going through.
Nice.
I wonder if Jamada would like to redesign a channel.
We're still online, you know that.
Yes, I'm going to turn us off now.